Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Amanda. Whoa. And today I'm coming at you with a Christmas art guide, Christmas gift guide for artists. Since I've seen this trend going around on teen Christmas wish gift guide, because it's November, so everybody's thinking about what to buy Christmas, and I'm like, you know what, let me do one for artists because I know a lot of people are wondering what should I get my friends that are artists, what should I get daughter or sons for Christmas if they're artists, or maybe you're thinking, I'm an artist, what should I get for Christmas? So hopefully this video helps you. Remember to like this video, subscribe, and I hope you find this video useful. So I ended up making a list of items that is a combination of what I think you guys should get for Christmas and a combination of what I want. So yeah, they're gonna overlap. So the first category that I have for this list is equipment. The first thing I would get for your artist friend, your artist family member is a camera. So if they have expressed an interest in like drawing to the point where they like posting on Instagram consistently or on YouTube, then I would definitely get them like a camera. It doesn't even have to be like a very expensive camera. I'm using an expensive camera because my dad is a professional photographer, so I have my previous cameras behind me. They're Canon, and I'm sure you can find some cheap ones on Amazon for like $60, $70. Like I said, it doesn't have to be expensive as long as it works, And on top of that, if you're gonna get your loved one or friend a camera, also get them an SD card that is at least or maybe at most 32 gigabytes. I used an 8 gigabyte SD card before, and I find that it's not enough for me personally because I like to record a lot. So getting a 32 gigabyte SD card would be best, especially if the person that you know or you yourself like to record your drawings a lot, like process videos and stuff like that. It can be pretty hard to store all of your videos on your phone if you ever want to record from your phone. So using a camera and getting an SD card would be a better option. And with the camera, I think there are some options on Amazon where you can get a tripod with the camera of your choice, but if not, then there are always other tripods for you to choose from. And like I said before, I know that buying a camera is expensive, so if you choose to just use your phone, then getting a tripod for your phone definitely works as well. So I wouldn't count that out. Like, put that on your list if you feel like your phone has a really good quality camera to it. So moving away from cameras, also in terms of storage, if you choose to record on your phone, you should also ask for a portable charger because recording on your phone for time-lapse videos drains the heck out of my phone, which is another reason why I'm using a camera instead of a phone. But like I said, if you can't use a camera, use your phone. But getting a portable charger is a really good investment for your video because you'll be able to make more videos longer without your phone dying on you, because I had that problem frequently. So aside from that, I would also put drawing table on my list of things to ask for, especially if you don't have like a specific drawing table for your art. I definitely would get a drawing table. They have a couple of tables on Amazon, even at Blick's art supply store. They run from like anywhere from $70 to $100. I got one with some shelves on the sides, so I definitely would get an art table that has some drawers to it, also with the ability to like move the table up and down, because I don't really like to move it up, but if I were to work on a painting, then that would really come in handy if the drawing table has that ability to move. And I also have pencil drawers and shelves on the list, because if you're like me, if you know anybody that's like me that has a whole lot of art supplies and can't fit in the shelves that come with the table, then I would definitely get like pencil shelves, pencil drawing shelves that you can stack on top of your table, because personally that's on my list because I have a whole lot of color pencils. And I don't just own color pencils, I have markers, I have paint, I have sketchbooks, and I have other drawers for that, but I like to keep my colored pencils on top of my table. So what better way to keep it on your table by having it on a shelf? Because if you can tell behind me, I have them in little cans, tins, and I group them by like how frequently I use them. If you prefer to get them in tins, or if you want tins, I mean you can, but I honestly would opt for the drawing shelves just because it's neater and you can put more pencils in one space. And so the last thing that I have under the category stereo equipment is a lamp with different light settings. And I have this, but you should definitely put on your list. So this is one example. I got this for Valentine's Day last year for my boyfriend. He got it for me because I was always complaining about like not having a good light source, and especially when recording my videos, especially like in the dark, like in the night, like it's always good to have a good light source when you're drawing, because I know that not everybody gets the time to draw in the morning or in the afternoon. People have school, people have work, but in the nighttime, using a lamp like this definitely helps. So that you can also find on Amazon. So moving away from equipment, the next category I have is drawing / pencils. So if you or somebody that you know likes to draw, I would definitely invest in pencils or color pencils if they like to draw with color or experiment with color. So I have a couple of different brands that you can give them. I'm going to list them from lowest to highest in terms of price. So the first one would be Prismacolors, either the Premier or the, I don't know, there's another one that's like a set of 12. The erase pencils, which come with like 12 pencils, like the basic colors with erasers. So like if you make a mistake coloring, you can always erase that. But I personally don't use those. I used it for my art class, but I don't really use it now because I have my, I would say, professional pencils. But if you prefer to get professional pencils, I would definitely get the Prismacolor 150 pack. There are other options like below that. Like I know that one is the most expensive one out of them all, like $100 something. But if you feel that you don't need all those colors, I would definitely opt for like the 48 or the 72 pack. That's like $30 to $40 in comparison. So then the next one would be Faber-Castell, either the polychromos or the classic colors. I personally like the polychromos just because of like the feel to it. Like it's hard to explain, but the polychromos not only has a more variety of color in terms of like skin tones and grays, but like the quality of the color is also better. But if you want to get the polychromos, that's like the 120 set, which is the expensive one, then I would get it from Amazon. But you honestly don't have to get these if you feel like, you know, you're not that good at coloring with pencils yet. I mean, honestly, if I were to make you choose, if you're not at that level, stick to Prismacolor. It's pretty good. It's really, really good. A lot of professional artists use that brand. But the next company that I would recommend for color pencils are Caran d'Ache. I don't even know how to pronounce that name. Luminance pencils, and I have a couple of Luminance pencils that I like selected single-handedly from the art supply store at Blix, and I mean that one is literally the most expensive set of pencils I've ever came across. And so I don't really recommend you getting that first if you're not that comfortable with color pencils yet. Like I said, stick to Prismacolor, but if you are very comfortable with experimenting, then definitely get the Luminance pencils. I personally love the Luminance pencils because of the richness of color. I don't have all of the colors yet, but that's like on my list, and yeah, that's on my list. So if you guys get it, that's wonderful because that is very expensive. But there's also a cheaper option compared to all the other ones that I listed before, and that's Arteza. And honestly, they're a good brand. They have a whole bunch of supplies, but on Instagram I've seen a whole lot of artists use their pencils, expert pencils. I have the 48 pack, I think 48 or 72 pack, and I think it offers a good selection of colors to choose from. Of course, that's not the most amount of pencils that they offer, but the 72 pack would be a good place to start. So on the topic of pencils, what you definitely need to put on your list if you don't have one already is a pencil sharpener. Now I'm not talking about those little ones where you do it by yourself by hand. I'm talking about the mechanical electric sharpeners from X-Acto. Now I used to have one, but it broke on me, so yeah, that's the story. So I definitely need a new one. Now aside from pencils, I would put sketchbooks on my list. There are different types of sketchbooks. There's Strathmore's tone grade paper, mixed media paper, color pencil paper, sketchbook paper, and in different sizes, 9 by 12, 11 by 14 inch, 14 by 17. I mean, that differs based on the pad that you get, and you know, again, that's all on preference, so you gotta see what type of paper that you think you're comfortable with. And Strathmore's not the only company. There's Canson. That's the only company I know of that's besides Strathmore, but I personally don't like Canson. Everybody has their own preference, but you can get Canson if you want to. Mixed media paper from Canson is cheaper compared to Strathmore's mixed media paper, but I personally think if you are like a color pencil artist, then the mixed media paper from Strathmore is way better. And so the last thing that I have on my list, which is not really traditional art, but it's digital art related, and I would ask for a pen for my iPad or for your iPad. I have an iPad. I don't have Procreate, but I would like to download the app and, you know, start experimenting with it. But of course there are other like drawing apps to use, but in the future when I do decide to pursue digital art, I would definitely want a pen for my iPad. It doesn't have to be an Apple pen. It could be any other kind of stylus that you can find on Amazon. So the next category I have is markers. And markers can be pretty good. They can go hand in hand with color pencils if you are comfortable with that. I personally like to use my markers with my color pencils to build up layers on the sketchbooks that I've mentioned before. So when it comes to markers, I'm pretty picky with them in terms of like how many markers come in a pack, or especially how much it costs for the amount that comes in a pack. So honestly, I like to use Artesa's markers because they offer a lot of options in one pack for, you know, cheap, like or less compared to like bigger brands. So for example, you can put this on your list. Artesa's pack of markers. I forgot what it's Everblend. So their markers has such a nice variety of color. I would buy from them instead of Copic. So on the topic of Artesa's markers, the next set I would get, and it's actually on my list as well, is the skin tone markers. They also have a variety of color options. So compared to like Copic's 6-piece skin tone set, which you could put on your list as well, they have a lot more options for their markers. So I don't know, I'm not sponsored by any company, but you should get good quality markers. So yeah, and the last one I would suggest getting is Artesa's black and white markers. Again, Copic markers have the 12-piece neutral gray set that I have, but honestly, if I had known about Artesa's black and white markers, I don't think that's what it's called, but black scale markers, then I would have opted for that one because it has a lot more options. I mean, the quality of Copic markers is like spot on, but if you don't have the money for it, then I would definitely recommend using Artesa. I wouldn't say settle for it because it actually is a really good brand. So definitely get Artesa's markers. If you guys are interested in purchasing any of the Artesa markers that I mentioned in the video, click on my description box below. There should be affiliate links. Yes, if you click on the link and you purchase one of the markers, I do get a commission from it. So I just needed to let you know so that there's no surprises or anything. It's legal. I'm supposed to say that. So if you do decide to purchase the markers, I hope you enjoy them. They're pretty awesome. So my last category of gift ideas are pretty much random things that I found on the internet. So the first thing that I came across, and I've actually seen before on like TikTok and Instagram, is the 642 Things to Draw journal. And I don't know much about the journal. I haven't, used it, but from what I know of right now, the journal has 642 prompts that you could, there's like little boxes for you to draw in. And I honestly think that's a cute idea for you to try it out, especially if you feel that you need to become more creative or you want to challenge yourself in terms of like the types of prompts that you take on. So definitely get that. I might put that on my list, just thinking about it. And on the topic of drawing, I would also get a coloring book. So I don't recommend any specific coloring book. I know coloring books are good for artists. Like, it's very therapeutic. So a coloring book, honestly, you don't have to get a coloring book, but it is the most basic thing to get an artist if you can't think of anything else. So speaking of books, you would think, oh, I'm gonna get a book for an artist? I don't want them to read. Well, there's actually a book that I came across called Your Inner Critic is a Big Jerk by Danielle Carissa, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but apparently it's supposed to motivate artists to create when they're in a funk, when they feel like unmotivated to create, especially when peers may discourage them from creating, when they feel like there's no point in creating. I honestly think I should get the book as well because sometimes I feel as though like it's not worth drawing, but which I know is not true. And sometimes it's okay to feel that way, but it's not okay to the point where you just give up on art because of people discouraging you. So definitely check that book out. I'm definitely gonna get that. I'm gonna put that on my list right now. So yeah, so moving away from books and coloring, some fun / cute / weird gift idea for artists are mugs. I'm not talking about any type of mug. I'm talking about this particular mug. the Bob Ross color changing mug, which I think it's pretty funny. I don't really like look at his videos and stuff, but if you or you know somebody that looks up to Bob Ross, I think it's pretty cute. It's a pretty cool idea, so you can get them that color changing mug with his face on it. And I have another mug suggestion, and it's a mug that has like a paint water saying that this could be paint water, which is kind of misleading because, you know, a lot of painters, they like to keep their drinks on their table. They like to mix up their drinks with the actual paint water, and this is kind of like a humor based gift idea. So I don't know, if you are a painter or you know somebody that is a painter, I definitely would not get this or ask for this if you feel that you tend to mix up your paint water with your regular water. But if you don't paint, then I think you should get it just for the heck of it. So another thing that I have on my list is Jackson Pollock's 1,000-piece puzzle. So apparently the company that made this puzzle said that this puzzle was the most difficult puzzle to complete when it was released in 1964. So 1,000 pieces, imagine 1,000 pieces is tough as it is. But that particular painting, Jackson Pollock's like painting where he like splatters his paint on the canvas, like I personally love those paintings, but I can't imagine completing that type of puzzle just because all of the splatters, like they all look the same. If you're up for the challenge, definitely go for it, but I don't know if I would do that. And the last thing I have, which is basically for people who somehow have everything that is on this list, or you know they don't want anything in particular, I would just ask for a gift card from either Michael's or Blix or any art supply store that you like to get your supplies from. Or not even that, get yourself a regular Visa card, because sometimes I don't like being limited to a specific brand or gift card. So I think a Visa would definitely work out. And if you're going to ask, or if you're going to get a gift card for somebody, I would definitely give them at least $50 to work with, because art supplies can be pretty expensive these days. So I would recommend anywhere from $50 to $100 if you want to give them more. Honestly, that's awesome, but you don't have to do that. I'm not going to tell you how much money to give, but I would recommend at least $50 because sketchbooks alone are like $15. So imagine. So yeah guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that the list that I gave you was good enough for you. I know that every artist is different, that their supply list or the supplies that they work with are different. I know that mine was based on color pencil artists and marker artists, but hopefully it does give you an idea on what to get your art pal or yourself when you're asking for people to give you a gift for Christmas. So make sure you like and subscribe. Maybe share this with somebody who is thinking of getting art supplies for their loved one. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.